So this is a special one. I've got time today. So let's look at what exactly is the blockchain. Because a lot of people try to mix blockchain with only Bitcoin. But if we realize, just like the internet, now the internet was made in 1983. It took like 15 years before Google came about and started doing their thing. So think about 1983 internet, 15 years later Google, big, and there was things before Google. But now blockchain. So around 2009, blockchain, big by Bitcoin, the white paper and things. Then 15 years from that is 2024. But even before this time, there's loads of companies that are already using blockchain. So what is the blockchain? Let's remember. So we'll get on to layer one. But what we're thinking about blockchain is in the word of blocks. It's able to make, who's that? Yeah, so I've got my tag here. So let's go through the steps. So blockchain, it gets its name from a structure, a series of unchangeable blocks controlled by its users. These blocks are packets of data that usually contain a collection of transactions. And we can get deep into things, but it's just blocks, and it's each different users has blocks. It's not just one person has this whole data on their computer, because the internet is about databases. And then all of this, we have to remember, if you go back to the basics of when people used to write in secret Morse codes and codes, and there's been a war between the code makers and code breakers, even like Elizabeth and certain queens and stuff. Can't remember what queen, but they lost their power because they were able to, their messages were not coded well enough, and people scrambled the code and realized, oh, that's treason, and hanged queens and things like that. So we have to realize from history, Morse codes, little change in anagrams. This is where we get to the internet now, and then those algorithms and encryption is why people like the internet. But even the internet is not safe enough. That's where we get to blockchain. So blockchain was able to make things even more secure. So we see here, blockchain started with a personal group called Satoshi Nakamoto, and they published a white paper, so showing everything that Bitcoin can do. And it was all about for Bitcoin transactions. But then they realized the next big step was making it not just be about Bitcoin. So they realized, oh, Ethereum now, they launched in 2015, they introduced smart contracts to this, which contain agreed upon contract terms directly in their code. When one of their parties meets the contract terms, which can be anything digital and verifiable, the system automatically takes action. And this is where we'll get onto layer one. Ethereum's a layer one. All these transactions, all these things are happening on that blockchain, not needing to go anywhere else. So I'll give you the top 10 layer ones later, but these are the fundamentals. So separate Bitcoin, separate Ethereum from the blockchain technology, because this is about encryption, making things open, but making sure people can't hack things and be able to use things just like we use the internet. Blockchain technology is its own, say, Web3, a next layer of the internet, a next more secure internet, faster, more secure, more reliable. This is blockchain outside of Bitcoin. That's what we have to remember, and we'll get onto all the companies like HSBC, Barclays that are already using blockchain. So we need to separate blockchain with crypto, because cryptography is the fact that you're able to secure things. We'll get onto that, because not every word I'm saying might be the actual terminology of it, but it's kind of the same. So fundamentals of blockchain: you'll start by opening a digital wallet. Actually, that's not the one I want. I want the importance of blockchain. So this is what we're saying. Cryptography. Blockchain keeps transactions safe by using special codes that scramble the information, because that's what we're talking about when we realize I was talking about from before. There's that war between the code makers and the code breakers. Before, say they'll make AB1, BB2, and people be writing in secret codes. Then it got more complicated to make AB26 and BB1, and trying to make the code not be able to be solved by people. And then the same thing, you get onto the internet and they got all of this encryption, so they can't be known to people what is actually happening. And that's why emails, all encryption. So cryptography is a higher level of encryption, scrambling up special codes, the information, making it hard to change any data. So this is why blockchain is good. Then you got consensus protocols. These rules help everyone on the blockchain agree on what's true. The network nodes check and approve all transactions before adding them to the network. And then you've got the decentralized network. So blockchain spreads its data across many computers so hackers can't gain anything from attacking one single place. The network also eliminates the need for middleman. The decentralization makes transactions more transparent and trustworthy. So this is where, and then efficiency and cost savings. So streamlined processes, things can move faster without third parties to handle transactions. For example, smart contracts automatically complete transactions once someone performs a predefined triggering event, got reduced costs, fast transactions, and so many things. So this is why crypto is great, because of the blockchain technology. So we have to think, imagine you invested in Google back in these days, 1998, how much would you have? And we could look at the stocks of Google and we can see, let's see Google stock price. So let's see max. So it only going up to 2014, but even in 10 years, so 27 USD, and it's now 156. So there's serious money to be made. And I want to see before, why can't I see? Maybe it wasn't did Google only come? I don't think Google only came. Did Google only join the top market 2014? I don't think so. Let's see. When did Google join the stock? Google joined the stock market. 2004. 2004, shares at a price of $85 per share. So anyway, I digress. So blockchain, we're aware now, it's got a use. It's not going nowhere. Look at all these companies that are using blockchain. So if we go straight to the top, you got bank and finance, HSBC, Visa, Barclays. So it can make all these things fast. Supply chain, Ford, Walmart. You got healthcare. You got insurance, energy, real estate. Now you should follow my Telegram because there's a nice little one called Proppy, and they build houses. So they're already a real company, but they're making NFTs linked to houses. Because imagine ownership of houses where it's easier, where you can see what surveillance has been done, what insurance, what checks on the house. You can own the deeds of the house by owning NFT, and it's safe online, and you're safe rather than paper and all these stuff, making things easier and less paper and paperless, but secure. This is where real assets can be on the blockchain. So these companies here as well, you got trading, got government, got IoT, got travel. So this is all British Airways, they're all using blockchain technology. Now, so remember, we're talking about Bitcoin, first layer one, first blockchain technology. Ethereum took that white paper, made it their own. So now from Ethereum, this is where we get to layer one. So layer one is all about all the things you're doing, the architecture, everything is all on that chain. It's all an autonomous chain on which transactions are directly executed, because no third parties, everything's directly happening on that chain using blocks. Whereas layer one and layer two can sometimes make layer one faster and stuff, because this is the problem of Ethereum, and there's fees. That's why you got layer two solutions, but I'm sticking with layer one for now. And there's a couple ones we want to look at. So why layer one, layer two scaling solutions are important? A blockchain is a centralized network of nodes. We talked about that processes crypto transactions independently with common rules of consensus mechanisms. Unfortunately, the most popular a blockchain becomes, Bitcoin in a case in point, the more processing power is needed to handle its growing number of transactions. This is the problem when it gets popular, things get slower, more power is needed. So this has caused popular blockchain networks to become very slow, sometimes taking up to 10 minutes or more. So it can't get real life applications in like banking systems. It's going to take all 10 minutes to confirm one transactions. This is why we need scaling solutions, and that becomes the Bitcoin trilemma, to be able to be scalable, fastable, while still staying decentralized, while still staying secure. So these ones like Solana will get to, and Cardano and other ones that are trying, they kind of helped with that trilemma dilemma, but they've got their problems, because even Solana has been blowing up It's like, is it fifth now? It's been blown out. At one time it was even bigger than BNB, but it's blown up. But now the more transactions it's having, it's been slow and loads of things failing. They will be trying to say, oh, it's for a safety mechanism to help your slippage, but in reality, it's become too popular. But at the same time, you can see that two ways. One, what they're going to do about it. Two, it's showing how much people are using it. And then one developer is saying that the developers at ANS are working on a fix with several patches being projected to release this week. According to them, this issue lies with a Solana validity client called Agave and how it handles large results. So there is plans on it getting better, hopefully. So where were we? So yeah, so the ones now we want to discuss, my layer ones, I'm saying you should really have a look at. So the first one is Neo. So Neo is a Chinese Ethereum. So let's look at Neo. So Neo is doing really nice, 66% in 1 year. So the things with narratives, if Ethereum's good, you've got the Chinese version of stuff. That's just a narrative by itself. So then my next one is Ton. Now Ton is built by Telegram people. So Ton is actually really good and it's been flying. So if you look at Ton this year, 1 year, 206%. And they just passed Cardano. Ton is now 10th place. Then you've got GALA. Now GALA are good for gaming, music, and films. And remember, you should do your own research. Click on the website, see who the owners are, what are their previous success stories, their education, their background. But you can see a Garlog for games, music, films, and they're doing really good price wise. 54 market cap 2 billion, so they got big room to grow. Because remember, Solana and other ones, Tonkon was what, 23 billion. So then number 4, we got Mantra. Now Mantra is good for real assets. So like houses, real assets, linking it to the blockchain. So you got Manta. Let's have a look. Regulatory compliant for real world assets, infrastructure for builders. Permissionless chain for permissioned applications. So what was my number 5 is Flow. Now Flow, that is good for mobile ready. If the companies need to get onto blockchain but want to be mobile ready, Flow is good. And I done Flow ages ago. I can't remember if they were linked to Google or someone big, because that's the next thing to check with these. Check who is investing in them. So Flow, Web3 mainstream. See NBA, NFL, see the companies that are linked with them. That's my number 5. Now you got 6. I'll say Eng. So Eng are good for finance. And that's a whole next narrative. DeFi, being able to make money like the banks. This is the next thing with crypto. Like the banks, they offer you like 0 point something % interest with scaling and using your money in a crypto systems. Like you can get better interest. And then investing, stock market, crypto, whatever you're investing in, that's the point, that you can get better returns than the bank is giving you, because with inflation your money is losing value, but by investing you can get better returns. So Eng, great. This is my number 6 one, Eng, and they're good for finance. Look at all these companies linked with them: Microsoft, Binance, made for mass adoption, marketplace, mobile wallet. And then where are we? Number 7, we got FANTOM. So FANTOM, they just got a lot of GameFi, NFTs, DeFi. So FANTOM network, 51th in crypto last year, 112%. Now compare that with the returns your bank would have gave you. So where's their website? A thriving ecosystem, hundreds of DeFi NFT and GameFi dApps called Phantom Home. Transaction cost less than, so this is the key, being faster than Bitcoin, Ethereum, cheaper transaction fees, because if you're too expensive, real world companies will not want to be linked to you. Then we've got 8 Solana. We already know Solana is great. 9 Ethereum, 10 BNB, and of course you still got Bitcoin. And these are the ones to check out. So make sure you check out my Telegram group, because these are layer ones we're talking about. You also can get to the AI narrative. You've got the deepin narrative. You've got the gaming narrative. There's so much potential in this space.